玩完啦。逼我哋啲香港人啊，我哋要企出嚟反對。
警方有少少即係話過分咗啦嗱，
係明確係需要呢啲武力去制止呢啲暴徒。
如果我仔每次我就要咁樣，我都只係遷就佢嘅，而我去縱容佢呢啲任性嘅行為，佢有後悔。
即係我相信香港而家民情最高漲，亦都係呢段時間。咁即係而家唔行出嚟嘅話，其實之後可能即係亦都冇咩更多嘅機會，更加好嘅機會去彰顯我哋群眾嘅力量。
This day of protest is months in the making. In February, Hong Kong's government proposed an amendment to the city's extradition law to allow the transfer of suspects between Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, and mainland China. The purpose is to make it possible for a Hong Kong man accused of murdering his pregnant girlfriend in Taiwan to be sent there for trial. But it's the possibility of being extradited to mainland China that has these citizens concerned.
一旦通過咗呢個條例嘅話，其實譬如我哋有一啲佢中國大陸所講嘅一啲政治犯，可能係會由香港呢一度啦，去移送翻去中國嘅大陸啦。而且呢一個係 override 咗成個嘅legislative system 咯。
The government has already tried to appease opponents of the extradition bill by raising the threshold of extraditable crimes and limiting extradition requests to only China's top prosecution office and Supreme Court. But the changes have done little to ease the fears of the people. Hong Kong is one of the few places in China where people can gather en masse to voice discontent at the government. This march is on a scale the city hasn't seen in decades. Organizers estimate that more than 1 million people are taking part. Most go home when it's officially declared over at 11 p.m. But a few hundred camp out behind metal barricades outside Hong Kong's Legislative Council. In 3 days, the second reading of the extradition bill is to take place inside the debate chamber. It's the next step in the process to get it passed into law. Shortly after 1 a.m., hours before the scheduled second reading of the extradition bill, protesters take over roads leading to the legislative complex. Police appeal for them to leave, saying they'll use appropriate force if necessary. But the crowd gets bigger. The government instructs employees to stay home and delays the reading of the bill, but the demonstrators stand their ground, refusing to leave even amid heavy showers. A few minutes after 3:30 p.m. Police being pelted with water bottles, umbrellas, and other objects use pepper spray, tear gas, and rubber bullets to disperse tens of thousands of protesters. The police chief declares the situation a riot. Anyone convicted of rioting faces a jail term of up to 10 years. By nightfall, most of the crowd has been cleared. Now it's the government's turn to speak. Hong Kong's top official, Chief Executive Carrie Lam, gives an interview to local TV, broadcast in prime time. She's not willing to bend on protesters' demands to abandon the extradition bill.
我有一個媽媽啦，我都有兩個仔嚇。如果我仔每次我就要咁樣樣，我都只係遷就佢咧。我諗短時間我哋嘅母子關係會好好嘅。當呢個小朋友成長到，佢因為嗰陣時嘅一啲任性，而我去縱容佢呢啲任性嘅行為，佢有後悔。
Anger is also directed toward Hong Kong police for what protesters say was the excessive use of force during the June 12 clashes. This man is speaking to us on the condition of anonymity. He was an auxiliary policeman for 5 years, but quit after witnessing that day's events.
咁呢個係我絕對唔可以接受嘅，因為我會覺得警察係應該保護香港市民，而唔係用自己嘅暴力去對待佢哋。我見到示威者好和平咁佔領馬路，阻止一班議員入去開會，咁就可以阻止呢條惡法通過。咁直至警察進場，咁就釋放催淚彈啦，咁就驅散啲示威者，咁先至開始有衝突發生。即係你警察要清場係你嘅責任，呢個冇問題嘅，即係我唔會話唔俾你清場，咁唔恰當咯。因為我哋自己由做學警學堂嗰陣已經開始學警察通例啦。咁其實係有教你點樣去使用武力嘅，咁有明文規定係必須要係用最低程度嘅武力啦，去達到你嘅目的，同埋係達到目的之後就要即刻停㗎啦，唔可以再繼續用你嘅武力㗎啦。
我覺得警察其實做得有啲過分啦，因為其實佢自己係又有槍啦，又有盾啦，即係佢係即係保護晒自己嘅。但係其實我想講我哋香港市民其實都係得保鮮紙啦、口罩同埋雨衣。
After repeated internal deliberations over the last 2 days, I now announce that the government has decided to suspend the legislative amendment exercise.
Despite Carrie Lam's announcement, a second mass protest goes ahead as planned. The turnout is bigger than Hong Kong has ever seen before. Organizers claim nearly 2 million people have come out to march. They're demanding the complete withdrawal of the extradition bill, for police to retract the term riot when describing the June 12th clashes, the dropping of charges for those arrested during the clashes, an independent inquiry into allegations of police brutality, and they also call for Carrie Lam to step down. But on this day, there is no tear gas, no violence, just a sea of demonstrators flooding Hong Kong streets. This march also takes a more somber tone. Many lay flowers in front of a shopping mall where a day earlier, a man in a yellow raincoat climbed atop scaffolding to protest against the extradition bill and fell to his death several hours later. Fellow demonstrators dubbed him Raincoat Man on social media.
The chief executive admitted deficiencies in the government's work has led to substantial controversies and disputes in society, causing disappointment and grief among the people. The chief executive apologized to the people of Hong Kong for this and pledged to adopt a most sincere and humble attitude to accept criticism and make improvements in serving the public.
With a written apology not good enough for protesters, Chief Executive Carrie Lam addresses the public.
I personally have to shoulder much of the responsibility. This has led to controversies, disputes, and anxieties in society. For this, I offer my most sincere apology to all people of Hong Kong. If we do not have that level of confidence to address those anxieties and fears and differences in opinion, we will not proceed with the legislative exercise again. It is very unlikely that the bill will be able to make the deadline of the end of this term.
In other words, the bill is effectively dead in the water. Unless the government revives it and attempts to pass it again, it will expire in July 2020. Dozens watched Lam's apology from a designated protest area outside the legislature.
I think that she should use the word restore, but she didn't use it. I'm very disappointed and a bit angry about that, because that's what our citizens, that's what Hong Kong people, thousands and millions of Hong Kong people walk on the street and paradise and want her to say this word restore.
In the days that follow, demonstrators keep up pressure on the government and police. Thousands besiege police headquarters, demanding the exoneration of arrested protesters. Despite pleas to disperse, the crowd refuses to budge. Officers are trapped inside for the entire day and well into the night. A spokeswoman says the siege has prevented police from responding to dozens of emergency calls. After some 15 hours, the protesters leave without incident. Just days later, about 1,000 protesters return, surrounding the building and blocking entrances. Some throw eggs and spray graffiti calling the police dogs. Never before has so much anger been directed at Hong Kong police. The ordeal lasts for 6 hours before the protesters leave at around 4 a.m. But police also have their supporters, who hold their own rally to speak out in defense of the officers and their actions.
當時嘅指揮官喺現場嗰個命令個夥計開槍咧，係明確係需要呢啲武力嘅，去制止呢啲暴徒。咁係現場咧，我哋睇到咧嗰個已經唔係和平嘅靜坐，係已經係可以講亂晒龍。咁當時嘅武力咧，就喺我個人嚟睇咧，就係適合嘅，因為睇埋全世界人哋嘅騷動嘅時間咧，佢哋嘅警方咧控制嘅場面係比我哋更加激烈，用嘅武器更加犀利。
July 1st marks 22 years since Britain handed Hong Kong back to China. Dignitaries gather for the annual flag-raising ceremony. Carrie Lam uses her address this year to try to calm the political tensions.
近月發生嘅事，令市民同埋政府之間產生矛盾同埋紛爭，亦都令我徹底明白，作為從政者，不時都要警醒自己，要準確掌握民情。我亦深切體會到，縱使有良好意願，亦都必須要開放包容。
Just down the street, protesters trying to get to the flag raising once again clash with police. More than a dozen officers are sent to hospital after being doused with what is believed to be drain cleaner. At 2 p.m., an annual protest march begins in Victoria Park, eventually attracting as many as 500,000 people from all walks of life in Hong Kong. But events outside the legislature will overshadow this peaceful protest. Hundreds of demonstrators, mostly young people, are besieging the building. And soon, as their frustration hits boiling point, the crowd turns its anger on the building itself. For the first time in its history, Hong Kong's Legislative Council is stormed. Riot police who were seen waiting on the other side of the metal barriers retreat as the first protesters rush in. Police will not be back for about 2 hours. Protesters quickly leave the building, and within an hour, the streets are clear.
This is something that we should seriously condemn, because nothing is more important than the rule of law in Hong Kong.
It will take months and cost millions of dollars to repair the damage at the Legislative Council. While many Hong Kongers don't condone the protesters' actions, they say they can understand what pushed them to do so.
佢哋冇係一個大肆嘅破壞，佢哋係有目的地去宣泄佢哋嘅政治理念。即係如果話當佢哋係暴徒去處理嘅話咧，咁我就覺得我未見過有咁克制嘅暴徒。
100萬人同埋200萬人咁樣去遊行，其實已經係表達緊一個訊息俾林鄭月娥，但係林鄭月娥佢係不斷咁樣去逃避，唔肯回應，唔肯出嚟同我哋對話。唯一所謂嘅道歉，好心不甘情不願，黑晒塊面，咁呢叫道歉啊！我就真係我坦白講，我都唔接受。
As the weeks go by, tensions continue to escalate. Protesters hold more demonstrations, growing increasingly frustrated at what they say is the government's unwillingness to address their demands. Carrie Lam changes her language and says the bill is dead, but the protesters insist it must be completely withdrawn. Violence hits an unprecedented level after a protest march in the northern part of Hong Kong, as police and protesters clash across 3 shopping centers. More than 20 people are injured. One police officer has his finger bitten off. More than 40 people are arrested. Streets swollen with protesters and angry demonstrations ultimately got Hong Kong's government to back away from the extradition bill. But the protests highlight a much bigger issue. Many fear that China is encroaching on the freedoms that are a fundamental part of the Hong Kong identity. Freedoms that the protesters say they will fight to defend. While the demonstrations continue and the situation escalates, Hong Kong is showing that it is most definitely not any other Chinese city.